Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're all enjoying this wonderful Thursday evening. Today we're talking about again in another live series about women and empowerment. I'm so happy to be here. For the ones who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Selina from Subtle Balance. I'm a life coach. My mission is to help people become the best version of themselves by gaining inner strength and self-love. The majority of the time I work with people who want to overcome codependency and who want to break free from toxic relationships. Last week I went to Alabama. I had a very interesting convo with Michelle. If you miss it, it's still on my page. Do check it. I started this series about women and empowerment because I think it is very important to create more awareness about this subject. And I also think it's very interesting to bring women from all over the globe together to talk about their passion, their purpose in life, and also about how they experience being an empowered woman in this world. So today we're staying in Belgium. I'm going live with Sophia. It's kind of strange to speak English with her because normally we speak Flemish with each other. Sophia is a writer, a storyteller. She also organizes women's circles and she inspires people by giving lectures. So I would say I will bring her in this live. Let's see if everything is up and running. She will in a second. Hi everyone who is tuning in. So nice that you're here. Let's see if the connection, if everything is working. Hi.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I am fine as well. So happy to have you here. For the people who are tuning in, can somebody just send me like a thumbs up or a smiley face so I know that you can hear and see us? Then I know that everything is up and running and then that we can start our live.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if anybody. So we can chat by in meanwhile. I gave a quick introduction, but I will give the word to you. Who are you? Who's Sophia? What are you doing? Just take it away.
Okay, wow. Thanks, Selina. And first of all, thank you for inviting me. It feels really very special to be here today and that you invited me to be part of this really beautiful project that you're running. Absolutely. It's so important and beautiful that you're sharing this with the world. So being able to be part of it is very special. So
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Um, mm. Yeah, and offering that gratitude reminds me of how grateful I am as a person. Maybe that's the first thing I wanted to like to share about who I am because I really love to be grateful in life for everything
Mm.
that occurs to us. It's not just happening to us; it's all happening for a reason. And I think that's who I am and how I really wanna live this life. I started writing when I was very young already. I've always written lots of things. It started with small diaries, but I've always loved writing because it really helped me a lot in different ways.
Oh,
I love to dance, and I'm doing the lectures since last year after I published my first book.
oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm also a huge fan of gratitude. I practice it every day. It is such a powerful tool. Maybe we should dive into that a little bit first before we jump to other things. Um, Gratitude, you don't wake up one day and think like, okay, now I'm just going to be grateful. It's through a lot of experiences, or that's my experience as well. Um, that you start living a grateful life. It's a choice. It's becoming aware, it's becoming conscious. So is there a moment in time that you say like, that was for me a very specific moment that I thought to myself like, hey, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to choose a different direction, and I want to go through life as a grateful person?
Yeah, definitely. I've had several moments like this, but the most important one was definitely in 2013 when I lost everything,
Oh,
partner, house, business, car, everything. So it was just me and a few boxes that was left.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, after looking for a new home, I found a place which was a really special place. It all happened for a reason, so I really had to be there. And yeah, I was going through a really tough time, definitely. And I really thought, wow, I've experienced quite a lot of things already in this life, and now this is happening. Like, again, such a big bummer. And yeah, I was feeling self-pity, and I was feeling very heavy, and I had no idea how I was gonna get through that.
Mhm.
So in the mornings, I always woke up with quite a heavy feeling and not really much joy or even yet gratitude to start the new day.
Yeah.
And then one morning, I did wake up with a completely different view on everything. And it felt like I was um, sitting at the bottom of this huge, how to say, well, in a big pile of shit. We always say, like, this is shit. But, I was literally feeling as if I was sitting in this huge pile of shit. And it even had, it felt like it was 6 meters large and 4 meters high. And I was at the bottom of it, as just as tiny as this. I felt like nothing. Um, but then at the same time, the vision and most importantly, the feeling really, yeah, entered my whole system of deep gratitude, because there's no better place than to be in shit.
Really
It's such a
proud.
fertile place to be. And every seed that you drop in a pile of shit will become a beautiful flower, or the most beautiful pumpkins grow from there, and the most wonderful and abundant potatoes grow in there, and the most beautiful sunflowers grow from there. And it all just happens. You don't have to do anything for it, just being grateful and allowing to be there. And yeah, that was really the day that I started to practice gratitude very consciously, because I realized that I was the little seed at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah.
And a seed just has to trust and surrender,
Yeah.
which is a topic of my book. Because we know that the power of every seed is just there it just grows. It
Mhm.
just has to surrender, yeah, to the fact that it will grow. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to allow yourself to grow. It's the possibility, give yourself the possibility to grow. I think a lot of times we belittle ourselves and we don't give ourselves the opportunities to do that. And I think that's a very important thing that you say. When you're hitting rock bottom, it is so important that you create a kind of awareness and be happy for what, yeah, for where you are and the small things that you still have in life. Everything around you may seem like, oh, I'm losing it and I lost everything, but there's still always something in your life to be grateful for, and it's the small things. And from the moment you start focusing on those tiny teeny small things start changing around you as well. So I recognize that part so well. I also love the fact that you say, like, the writing part, that you started at a very young age to write. Do you, how old were you? Do you have any idea about that?
Probably more or less from the age of 7, 8, from as soon as I could write, because at the age of 9, I was really into it already.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, for the people who are tuning in, I see a lot of people coming and going. If you have any question for Sophia or for me or about this subject, leave them in the comment, and then we will talk about it during our live. So, Sophia, you also wrote a book. Can you tell us something more about the book, the content, and how you decided to write a book?
Well, to answer at the last part of your question, I didn't decide it at all. It just happened. It
Okay.
was literally because I was open since 13, very open to the flow of life and to really receive whatever is meant to be for me, and to live that flow, and to, yeah, really honor that flow. That more and more things just, yeah, come to me and flow to me, and then I just really chose to say yes to these things. That's how I can be mostly of service. I really want to be of service.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, I just had a big calling to go to Italy. Like I've had many callings to go to some countries all over the world, and I never had this bucket list to travel to this and this and this place and to visit those and those and those places. I never traveled in that way. And this time, at the end of 2018, I felt a huge calling to go to the south of Italy, but I had no idea why I had to go there. So I just decided because I got a million signs to follow those signs and to just leave. And yeah, this book is the result.
Oh wow, awesome. But I love, like you're saying, I had a feeling that I had to go. I love that I have sometimes those spontaneous moments as well. You cannot pinpoint why, but you
Mhm.
just know by heart that you should go.
Yeah.
And when you're there, a lot of things fall in place, and then you understand, like, okay, this is exactly why I had to be here. And that's also something magical about life that yeah, I'm so grateful for those moments. So sorry for interrupting you. So no,
No, no worries. It's true. And yeah, definitely we mostly first have to go there and to follow that flow in order to be able to receive the answers of life and to see, that's why I needed to be here. Because often we are hesitating or, not really daring to follow that flow because it needs sometimes some courage or letting go of any other plans that we might have had in our head. But once we adapt to that attitude of life, because it's really an attitude of life, miracles start happening more and more and more. And that's what I realized during that journey too. And I thought that I was going to go for maybe 2 weeks, but I stayed 7 weeks.
oh wow.
And in those 7 weeks, I wrote a complete book. And only when coming home, I finished the last few things, and I looked someone to. I found someone to edit the book, and that was pretty much it. So it was born really easily. It just had to be born. There was no choice. The
But
story wanted to be shared, and I experienced the most crazy synchronicities and all kinds of magical moments, and it was really, really special. So yeah, I'm
oh,
very grateful that life chose me, because that's how it feels for me
exactly.
to experience that journey and to then be able to,
I'm
publish the book.
I think we have a question. First of all, I see somebody. Hi from Canada. Hi Hannah from Canada. Thank you very much
Uh,
for tuning in. And we have a question from Simply Palavi. Any specific gratitude rituals to learn and practice? Yeah, I think I will give the word to you. I think we can elaborate on that topic alone for more than an hour. But do you have specific rituals that you use to be more conscious and more grateful?
yeah, what I try to do in the mornings is to open up my eyes, or even before I open up my eyes, to just be very conscious about the gift that we get by waking up
Exactly.
and receiving a new day. That in the first place, it's very difficult when life feels hard at sometimes it can feel so hard, and you wake up and you're like,
Why?
but it's very human. It's very normal. Don't be too harsh for yourself.
That,
That's what I would say. And try to just find one little thing, especially when it's going really, when life feels tough, to try just one little thing to be grateful for. And that can already make a difference. In the evening, same thing when I go to bed, to really end the day with gratitude. And what I did for a long time, years, because I have different like jars, gratitude jars, and they are full with little papers that I was writing things on every day again. And in the beginning, it was quite hard because I started doing it in 2013 when I was going through those really,
change, yeah.
yeah. But it was so nice, and the little papers started to become too small, because in one day, in the end, you find a million things to be grateful for. So the
Exactly.
jars were full after a few months, and yeah, it's just really nice to see the jar, yeah, becoming more full and full with beautiful things that you are grateful for.
Yeah, so recognizable. I also do it in the morning and in the evening. And in the morning, I start with a small circle, like, hey, I'm grateful to be alive, or I'm grateful to wake up again, or to have a healthy, my son healthy, my own health, a house to live in, running water, simple basic things. And then I make it bigger, like I'm grateful for the knowledge or for appointments that I have today. It was also grateful for the life that I was gonna have today. So you can create and twist and turn. But I also started to be experiencing with gratitude in a moment like you, when you say like I lost everything, I'm hitting rock bottom. And it's so difficult at that time to be there, because your brain is like, oh no, things aren't going well, I'm hitting rock bottom, and now I'm going to force myself to be grateful. For me it was like a real challenge, and I can understand then a lot of people have something like, hey, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to push through. And that's just the moment that you challenge yourself in, okay, I want to change my life, I want to change my vision on life. And then you start, practicing those things. So I don't know if you're still here, Simply Palavi, if you had anything on the answer. Do you practice gratitude? Please leave it in the comments, then we can talk about it a little bit further. So you wrote a book. Is there also an English version, or is it only Flemish so far?
Yeah, so far it's only in Flemish. But some more people, just in this week, more people have asked me like, hey, is it also available in English? So maybe I should think about it to, yeah, translate it into English. But so far only in Flemish.
So
Yeah.
yeah, nothing happens without a reason. So maybe this is like a little sign to
Yeah.
do something with. So for the people who are the Flemish people, let's say, or Belgian people, if they want to order your book, how can they get in contact with you? How can they order?
Hmm. The most easy way is to either go to my website, it's just sophiagovaert.com,
All right.
or through Facebook, a PM, or an email, sophiagovaert@yahoo.com.
All right.
And there are a few shops in Belgium where the book is available.
All right.
Um,
I will
and
make
it's on the
sure
website. So.
to leave your website when when I upload the video afterwards. I will put your website in it so people can click on it if they are interested. So if we speak about the subject women and empowerment, we can say a lot about it. But if I say those words, what does it mean to you, women and empowerment?
For me, it always, or at least that's how it happened in my life. And I kind of believe that with most people, not just women, but with most people, it all happens and starts from scratch. When we are hitting rock bottom, that's the perfect place to start to empower ourselves in a very gentle, soft way. No harsh things, no must do's, but just the invitation for yourself
Mhm.
to start loving yourself more, to start practicing gratitude, to start opening up more for that soft power that lies within every woman.
Yeah.
I really love in Flemish we say zachte kracht, and I really love that. So the soft power, to me, that feels like, the most, that's a frequency that I really love, and that I maybe humbly think that most women could resonate most easily with, because power sounds almost frightening for some women. And also for me in the past, it was like, ooh, how can I ever become a woman that feels good? How can I ever become a woman that feels at least self-confident enough to go through life? I wasn't like that at all. I was a very unhappy child. I was so insecure, all these things. I hated myself. I even wanted to kill myself at several times in my life. So I really understand what it is to struggle. But I also know that if I can do it, everybody can do it. And we can all, at some point, we all find and feel that the moment is there, and we will find that soft power within ourselves, slowly but surely.
Oh, that's so nicely said. That's for sure. I'm gonna come back to your topic again in just a second. I see that we got an answer. Yes, life is a gift, and I'm thankful every day about it. Oh, that's so beautiful. For more experience, I always count the blessings as a ritual morning and evening. Moon gazing and talking heart out to open sky are my go-to tricks to be filled with more positive energy. Oh wow, I love that one. That's really, really a beautiful one, Simply Palavi. Especially the out moon gazing. Yeah, I write about the moon as well, so I'm already a huge fan. But it can help to say those things out loud as well. And then we have Mary Jokesome Powers. I think us women struggle to ask for what we deserve, but yes, there's hope. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a very important one that you mentioned, Mary, because in a previous life we discussed a little bit about that subject as well. It was in a business environment why a male was earning more money than a female, and it was actually because the man had the guts to ask and to to ask a bigger salary than the woman. She was starting her first job. She was a PhD, and she had something like, "Wow, I'm getting my first job, so I'm excited." And she didn't even consider to ask for more. And I think that is also something for us women. We have to step up and dare to ask what we want, what it is that we desire, just speak our minds. And I think that we often forget to do that. I don't know how you see that or experience that.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely resonate with the message, and I personally feel that it's not just about what is on our mind. To my humble opinion, it's not just about sharing what is on our minds, but also deep down in our bellies, what are we worth?
Exactly.
We are worth so much more often. Luckily, not every woman suffers from a low self-esteem, but many women do.
Exactly.
And also for me, it's still a daily practice, let's say, to find that balanced spot, that subtle balance, to name the name of your business, to know what our worth is, and to from that spot, yeah, share whatever we have to share to be able to be seen enough and to be appreciated in the right way. At the same time, I think that if our self-worth is high enough, that we will attract the situations and the people that fit with us, and they will see us for who we are, and they will appreciate us in the right way. So probably we don't, we can, if we want to make a real change, it's always best to look within ourselves. And if we don't earn enough, well, why is that the case? What's the real reason, and what can we change? What can I change to change my outer reality? It's
Exactly.
not always easy, but we can do it.
It starts inside out. I see a lot of people tuning in. If you have any question for Sophia or for me or about this topic, leave them in a comment and we will talk about it. No, but it definitely is. It always starts inside out. And also when you say like, daring to step up, daring to ask self-worth, what am I worth, what can I also give to the world, what can I give to myself, but what can I give to the world. And I think as a woman, I don't think only as a woman, but I think we struggle through life discovering our worth, and every time it will change and fluctuate as well, because when you're 20, the way you approach the world, it's completely different than when you're 30 or 40 or 50. So it's constantly searching and looking for how can I just stay true to myself. I think that's the most important thing. How can I stay true to myself and live in this world being myself, being my authentic self. And that's for me so important. So the book, you wrote it in 7 weeks. That's really fast. So you came back and you found a publisher. How was it to publish your book? Because you say I was very insecure from time to time, struggling with a lot of things, and then you wrote a book in 7 weeks. You had a feeling like, okay, this is my story, this is me. It's like a child, let's say. And then you're going to a publisher, and then you publish your book. How was that feeling for you?
I didn't go to a publisher. I wanted to I wanted to feel the self-worth deep within, and I felt that this baby, because yes, it is like a baby,
Yeah.
that it was mine, or it just came through me. I am the messenger, and it just didn't. Actually, I just never thought about finding a publisher. I just felt that I wanted to birth this book in all in all different ways, so it was really, really empowering, talking about women empowerment, to write a story that had a lot to do with female empowerment, and to then also decide, because it just felt so logically, but I really love to follow my guidance, so it really felt to publish this book by myself. So I just Googled how I had to do that, and which steps I had to take to publish that book. And it gives a really nice feeling. It's not so difficult, because I'm a big feeler, and I'm a writer, but I'm not really the person who loves to go online to check a lot of things and to make that work. But I did. So if I can do that, again, many people can do that. And the reward that I got from that is really, it really fuels my whole being, but also my self-worth. And also financially, because you earn more by selling your own books than when you're having a contract with a publisher. Obviously, I truly would love to empower women to, if they would like to write a book, to just publish it yourself. It's not difficult. Voila, just do it yourself. It's not that difficult at all, and it feels really good to just do it by yourself.
All right. I have a question from Trottler Therapy. I cannot read it properly. Are men welcome? Yeah, you're more than welcome. Men, women, you're all welcome. I have a question about female and male energy just in a second, so do stay and join the conversation. Then Mary says, yes, quitting on proving people wrong or pleasing them, but choosing to approve ourselves and proving our limiting beliefs is wrong. And then she says, like, whoa, 7 months, but it's not 7 months, Mary, it's 7 weeks. So that's even more. Oh my gosh, I need your tips. I'm publishing on Wattpad at the moment. Okay, so I think she can send you a direct message, I assume, to get in contact with you to ask for tips and tricks.
Yeah, she definitely can. I don't know if I can share a lot, because I just Googled it and it's very easy to follow the steps, but yeah, you can, Mary.
All right. Awesome. So we're speaking about male and female energy. There's a huge difference, but that's my experience with coaching. There are a lot of differences, but there are also a lot of similarities. But there's one question that I received, I think, the first live, and I thought it was a pretty cool question, so I keep on asking everybody who's coming to my life. The question is, like, are men nowadays ready for empowered women? Are they ready for that kind of energy? Are they ready for that kind of vibe?
It's a very, very good and very interesting, and maybe also a very difficult question to answer. First of all, who am I to share about this? But I will just try to share my humble opinion or experience. But in a humble way, if I just, feel deep down in my belly, what I would like to share about this, I would say that maybe not so much men are ready to receive an empowered woman. There are, but not so many. And in some way, I even feel that quite a lot of women feel lonely or almost hopeless, like, my goodness, where am I going to find that conscious, strong man who is able to handle me? And not out of a, oh, I'm better or superior. No, from that feeling of just that womb feeling of, I'm a woman. Yeah. And I'm proud to be a woman, and I'm just living my mission. And that's basically just it. I'm just being my authentic person, my authentic self. Mm-hmm. That's it. Nothing more than that. But that's quite a lot for a lot of men. So, I have a feeling that we are in a a period on this timeline, on this planet, where not so many men might fit or be ready to match with a empowered woman. So that's one thing. And at the other hand side, I also often believe and feel that it might just be as it is meant to be, because it gives us all the space that we need to really live our mission to the fullest. There's no man to distract us. I mean, for the ones who don't have a partner, maybe that's another way to look at it. That's how I personally, at this moment, surrender to that situation and feel very freed and very, unlimited. There's nothing or no one that is
limiting you in your being.
limiting, who I am and what I am here for. And that's a beautiful thing. And maybe life was for the single women amongst us, maybe life just brings you this time or this period without a man, because you're meant to be alone, because it might empower you even more. To my opinion, it really empowered me a lot being single again.
Yeah, I understand and I recognize what you're saying. Mary saying story of my life. Okay. I think a lot of women can resonate with that. And I think it's also true what you're saying. I discovered it in my coaching, because it's textbook when you work with codependency, that a lot of female or suffer more from codependency than men. And for me, I must say that 60% of the people I work with are men and 40% are women. So I also talk a lot about relationships, and then I hear sometimes men say like, it's kind of difficult nowadays to approach a woman, because what does a woman that is independent, what does she need? What can I offer that woman? How can I provide her needs? How do I approach her? Because all the tips and tricks that were used like ages ago, I cannot use them anymore. So how do I do it? So I also hear the other side of the story. And then I think like, we're in a huge shift as well, the men and the women, but to find each other and to find that balance again, it's a very tricky thing to do. So I understand both sides, and I also understand what you're saying as a single woman, having a purpose, having your passion, because I think that is what it is. It's not even only about a purpose, but it's also about your passion. What do I want to give? What do I want to contribute to the world? What is it that defines me? And when you're alone, you can focus like 200% on that. And there's nobody limiting you in your being and in your passion. And that's a huge freedom, like you're saying. So I do recognize that. I see a lot of people joining in. If you have any questions, do ask them. So if we speak like more about women and empowerment, you say like growing up, it was a struggle. I was very insecure. I really wanted to take my life from time to time. That's really deep. I want to thank you, first of all, for sharing that with us, because it's very vulnerable. But if I see you now as a person that you are, you create women's circles as well. You give lectures. You inspire a lot of women, not only women, but also men. How did you go from being insecure and wanted to take your life to the woman you are today? What are the tips and tricks that you can share? I know it's not an answer you can give in 1, 2, 3, but if there are tips that you can give, what would it be?
Okay, because it is a full life story. I share a lot about that in the lectures that I give. And the tips would probably be being grateful. Once again, gratitude is it's a golden key. That's how I always name it. It's a golden key to a better life and to a more empowered life, because as long as we can't feel gratitude, we are more spiraling down with our energies. It's like, oh, what is happening to us?
Yeah.
When we do practice gratitude, we are spiraling up and raising our frequency and raising our self-worth, and raising that soft power, growing that soft power that lives within us. So gratitude and self-love is another golden key. I remember standing in front of the mirror one day in 2013. It took me 33 years before, and a few years after, for the first time, a friend of mine mentioned to me the power of positive affirmations. He said, you should go and stand in front of your mirror and tell yourself that you're worth it.
Oh wow.
And I said, oh, well, you know,
Hey,
I
wow.
was not ready for it. And he started sharing about it more and more and more. And I always said, well, thank you for sharing, but I think it's something that will work for other people, but not for me.
Oh yeah.
That's how afraid I was of telling me, myself, looking at myself in the mirror, that I was worth it, that I was beautiful, that I was okay as I was, because I didn't believe it at all,
No.
at all. So one day I did, and I started telling myself that I was worth it, and I was loved, and that I was beautiful, and I didn't believe a word. And I cried, I cried for months. But every day again, I invited myself to do it again and again and again. And in the beginning, I even wrote down with a marker on the mirror the words, because I couldn't speak them. And I thought, okay, first read them, then you don't have to speak them out loud if you can't hear yourself. It was too hard to hear myself saying these things. But yeah, after a few months, it started working, and it really started to have an effect on me. I could really feel and sense that the cells in my brain, the cells in my body, the cells in my heart started to shift and change and upgrade themselves. And that was the beginning of the big turn, the big transformation from being a very insecure girl and woman to the person that I am today.
Oh wow, that's so beautiful. That's really, yeah, that's really beautiful. And I do recognize it as well. And the mirror work, like you say, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And I know I did it once as well, to say out loud to myself, looking in the mirror, I love you. That was one of the hardest things that I ever had to say to myself. And the first moments that I was standing there, I couldn't even say it. It was like, oh well, maybe tomorrow, but not today. Today it won't work. I'm just having a bad day. And you find all kind of excuses not to do it. But then one day I had something like, that you're really fed up with yourself, like, oh damn it, just do it. So I had something, okay, let's just do it. So I was standing in front of the mirror, and it was like, I love you. And it was like things started clicking inside yourself. I cannot explain the correct feeling, but things started just clicking, and it was like, wow, why didn't I do that sooner? Why haven't I said it to myself like years ago? Why wasn't there somebody when I was a kid telling myself, this is so powerful, you should do that? And yeah, I think we should all do that. Be mild with ourselves, but start loving ourselves. Here in the mirror, all the mirrors in the house, I have one sentence. That's my positive affirmation. I am enough. So every day when I pass a mirror or I'm looking in the mirror, it's my unconscious mind taking the sentence in, I am enough. And that's also something that I've learned now the past weeks. There's an app, a positive affirmation app, and it's so cool. It sends me positive affirmations during the day. So it's like 5 or 6 times a day I get a positive affirmation, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this one, yeah, cool, this one is spot on. So I'm also a huge fan of the positive affirmations. But if you look at the transformation, you as a young girl and now, that's a huge difference. And then you also organize women's circles. You also started doing that in 2013, or was it later on?
At the end of 2013, I believe, or maybe it was the beginning of 14. Yeah, somewhere around that time. When I worked like a full year hard on myself, like really, yeah, I did a lot in work. And after that year, I started offering those circles. Now I'm not doing them anymore, but I feel that because it's been a few years, I've been traveling a lot. Although abroad, we've done some, yeah, circles or kind of circles with women too. Mostly small circles, but it was so beautiful on beaches or in jungles. But yeah, it was
Wow.
really, really beautiful. And now I feel somehow that I would love to, yeah, start offering those circles again. So if the flow one day, one morning shows me, yep, this is the day we're gonna do it again, then I will. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And what was your drive to start organizing those circles?
Well, basically, exactly what I had been going through that year ahead, because I started in that pile of shit, transforming myself to a more secure woman, a woman who started finally loving herself at the age of 33. And I really wanted to offer a safe place, because safety is such an important thing, or energy or vibration to feel in your life. It should be a constant feeling almost. And I personally never had a safe place to be, because yeah, the way my parents raised me was not safe at all. And also, yeah, a few relationships that I had didn't feel safe at all. But I didn't even realize that, because I was used to feeling unsafe. So I really wanted to, after I attended one women's circle in the east, no, in the west of the country, but it was too far away. I had to drive 2 hours
Oh,
to go
wow.
to that circle. Yeah.
By dedication.
Yeah. So I always said to people, well, we went twice in the end. So once, and then in the end, we went a second time. And I just filled the car with sisters, with friends, and we drove there. And then we had a leak tire at the highway, and a trucker helped us. But, anyways, that was beautiful to also allow that man to help us while driving to a women's circle, to say, I am worth it. Yes, please, you can help us. Um, so we arrived too late, but I thought, this is way too far away from our place at home, more in the east of the country. And there was no place that I knew of that was offering women's circles back in 2013. So that was when I decided to offer them myself in a very humble way. I thought, who am I? But at the same time, I thought, okay, we are all worth it. And I still felt very insecure. I really did. But I thought, I want to offer this to women, and it has been very, very, very valuable and really beautiful. So I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. Hannah is saying, funny, I had an I am enough tattooed on my back a few weeks ago. Oh, that's awesome. And she's
Wow.
saying, would love to be part of the circles when I'm back in Belgium. Would say I will leave all the information of Sophia in the comments or in a message with this video. Do contact her. So if we speak about a
Yeah.
circle, can you walk me through it? What do you do? How does it look like, to give people an impression? It's about empowering each other. That's what I understand of it. No?
Yeah, definitely. And if I would do it now, I would change it already from how I did it back then, because I've learned so much in those 7 holy years.
Yeah. Thank God.
7 very difficult years, but it has brought me so much. Um, so, I always follow my intuition, and none of those circles has ever been the same as another circle. So I always tune into the energy of that moment, and we always did it with full moon.
Oh.
So on the very powerful day of the month, we came together, and yeah, somehow at some point I started to offer topics. Let's say, like this week we're gonna talk about this, or this week you can share or ask questions about that. And there was always a kind of a starting meditation, a moment to share briefly who we are, why we are there, or to say nothing at all, because nobody has to do anything. You can, but just being there is everything. That's the most important thing for yourself. Just offer yourself to be there. And then we passed the talking stick, let's say, and everyone who wanted could share something, some kind of own experience, personal experience, regards the topic of that day. And we listen completely, fully to the woman until she has said everything she wanted to share.
Oh.
So yeah, it's very beautiful to do it that way. And only if someone from deep within really feels to share something, after that sharing of that woman, we do, and otherwise we just don't, and we just send lots of love, and hold each other in that very beautiful safe space.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's one type of circle I feel, but I would also love to organize empowering circles
Mhm.
or empowerment, women empowerment circles, because I used to do that in Australia
Oh,
with women, and it was just the best. You know, after 1 hour, you're so full of power, and you are remembered how worthy you are and what your qualities are, and you know, we share about, wow, you're so amazing because bam 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 bam. And then, you know, it's just so beautiful to share your dreams and to share compliments with each other. We compliment each other not
no,
enough, I believe, if I can
no,
say that. I
no,
try to do that as much as I can, but
yeah.
still.
Me too. I'm that weirdo who says in the store, "Hey, nice dress," and then sometimes you see people looking at you like, "Huh? Who are you? Why are you saying that? What do you need from me?" And then it's like,
Yeah,
not. I just think you're wearing a cool dress. It's like,
yeah,
so I also I fully agree with you on that. We do it not we don't do it enough. And
no,
if we do compliment each other, the majority of the time it's about the way we look. Hey, you're beautiful. You have beautiful eyes. You have this, you have that, but not about personality. And that is such a big thing. Compliment each other on things that they do, but not only on the way that they look. And that's
no,
also something that I try to give in my coaching. And that was my very first life with Lacey's from Florida. She works with young girls, the age 7 till 15, and they have the empowerment groups for the young girls, and they do the mirror work, give each other also the compliments, but they cannot give each other a compliment on the way they look or on the with the things that they are wearing. So it has to be like very deep personal. And the experiences that she had on that yeah, on those groups, it's amazing. If you see how those girls brighten up, how they find their confidence, it's amazing. So I can imagine if you're organizing a circle like that, that you will have you will feel the energy grow instantly at that time. I think it's so powerful to do and so inspiring as well. And
yeah.
you did it in Australia. Do you have any plans to do it like here in Belgium? Yeah, now with COVID, everything is kind of crazy. So it's
Yeah, yeah,
difficult to do
definitely.
it.
Yeah, luckily, those kind of circles are also pretty powerful through the internet, because I used to continue with those circles with a group of sisters, mainly from Australia, but also some other sisters, I mean, sisters from other countries. And it was really, really nice and powerful to do it online. We Zoomed together, and it was amazing to start my week, because we did it on Mondays, their Monday evening, our Monday morning. But to start your week in that way is very powerful and amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we just opened up to all the possibilities and all the love there is, and the compliments that we shared, and yeah, the visions that we were holding. And yeah, it's just really, really nice. So I don't know when I would start doing them, because yes, COVID, but maybe online, who knows? Maybe I should just do it. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe this could be like the start sign to just really start, yeah, doing it and
Start.
offering it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you
Yeah.
will have a lot of people tuning in after this live asking you about it. If we speak about, because you travel a lot, you've been on different places all around the globe. I think it's very enriching to travel. If we speak about women and empowerment, do you have a sense that it's different if you look at the world in general?
Do you mean in different countries or different continents that there
Different
is?
continents, if you speak like now the circle, the empowering circle, you did it in Australia, is it like more common over there than we experience it here in Europe? Are there differences? Do you feel it different? Are people more open in over there? Yeah, I've never been there, so I don't really have a clue.
Yeah, I've probably I could write a book about this, because I remember that I felt a calling at one point to go to Hawaii, and I went because the calling was so huge that I went there, and I remember that I bought a ticket to go to the World Congress of Quantum Medicine.
Oh,
That
wow.
was what I attended. And then from there, I thought I was just going to fly back home, but I didn't. And because the flow was offering me crazy meetings with people and opportunities, so I flew from there to Australia. But on that flight, I stopped over in Fiji. It was not planned at all, and in Tonga, and then to Australia and New Zealand, and then back to Europe, a few countries, and then back home. So that took me, yeah, around the globe in about 10 months. And what I've experienced is that, to answer your question, that at all those places, I've learned so much about women and empowerment, and yeah, about how people live their lives. So what is important in which cultures to live a happy life? What does it mean to be happy?
Mhm.
And women do different things to yeah, fuel their inner fire, to yeah, raise their self-worth and to make their dreams come true. And in Hawaii and the east coast of Australia, because that's more or less the only place I've been. I've not really traveled to see this and these places, but I got stuck there in a very powerful, like almost vortex region with very conscious, beautiful people and a lot of conscious women. So yeah, Hawaii and the east coast of Australia is very, it's quite amazing. It's very inspiring. It has been very inspiring to be there, and I'm still in connection with lots of people who live there. And then in Tonga and Fiji, for example, it's still the old way. Women come together, they cook, they sing together, they dance together, or they go to the graveyards and they have a chat on the grave of the person that they want to honor and remember. It's so beautiful. They just take their picnic and they have a lunch literally on top of the grave. It's like this is the shape of the graves there. So they sit literally on top of that, yeah, person, having a picnic and sharing about the true wisdom of probably their ancestors and yeah, their experiences of life, which is so beautiful.
That's so special as well.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people tuning in. If you have a question, do leave them in a comment. We have like 8 minutes to go. So we will talk about your question. Do leave them. Wow, but that's so special. And if you speak about that as well, traditions, women and empowerment is also something that is going way back. It's not something new. So if you talk about those rituals, that's a sign like women coming together. It's something that has been there for ages. Somebody's saying, love you, Sophia.
Yeah, I love you too, Lynn. Mama Dea, she's amazing. She's about empowering women, pregnant women, women who are giving birth. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe we should talk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, time flies by. We have 7 minutes to go. I always end the live with a question. If there's something you would say to your 13-year-old self, advice, tips, tricks with the knowledge that you have today, what would you tell your 13-year-old self?
Hmm. To follow the gut feeling that you have deep inside. Maybe it's so hidden that you don't even know or realize anymore that it is there, but then please remember that it is there. And to really trust that inner voice, and that gut feeling and that deep feeling of trust and worth. Because deep within, we've been talking about this self-worth a few times now, but deep down in there, it is there. It could be very tiny, but it is there. And yeah, that will be probably almost a main message to myself, because that would also include that I would know that even though other people, in my case, for example, my parents, if they don't see you, if they don't raise you with love, if they don't lift you up, and if they don't support you to become a beautiful version of yourself, then it's really up to you
Yeah.
So even though no one is believing in you, believe and know that you're worth living in the first place, and that you have lots of capacities and gifts that are that will be very important in your future. The world needs you.
Exactly, exactly. Maybe that's something we can elaborate on for the last minutes. If you speak about trust and feel your gut feeling, we talk about it, we say it so often, to stay close to your feeling, follow your heart, follow your intuition. But
Mm.
those words are so much easier said than done. So if you look at yourself being a kid, growing up, being where you are right now, following your gut feeling, it's also a process. How did you learn to master it?
Well, then probably the answer would be to live in full surrender. So in Flemish, we say live in volle overgave, which is the title of my book. And then once again, I'm going to show the picture.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. I love that picture. I really do.
Well, and it's literally the symbol almost, and literally the attitude, the body movement that you can make every morning or every moment of the day that you
That's
need
your open
some
self.
more trust in life. And the more you live in that way, the more that comes your attitude of life. I experienced at least, the more you get in touch with that sense of with your intuition and with your deep gut feelings, and the more you trust those, the more life flows in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, that is.
So
And
first
oh,
trust, and then eerst zien dan geloven, they say in Flemish. How would I say that in English?
you
First
have to see
trust, see,
it.
then believe.
Yeah, before you believe it, you first have to
But I
experience
would,
it before you
yeah,
believe it. Yeah.
first believe, yeah, but I would twist it around. First believe and then see.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I
Because
also,
otherwise you're like, but life doesn't fool us if we fully
no,
trust
no,
it.
that is exactly, that's so true. I also like the movement that you're making, because you're opening yourself up when you do that. You're really opening your body up, open to new experiences, opening up to life. And
Yeah.
that's very important. And also the gut feeling thing. Sometimes you have like your heart and your brain battling, like, can I trust it? Can I not trust it? And seeking for approving, like, is this okay? Can I trust it? And all those things. It's yeah, it's also a process. Hannah is saying, reading Braving the Wilderness, written by Brene Brown. Yeah, she's I'm a huge fan of Brene Brown. I didn't read that book yet. The quest for true belonging and the courage to stand alone fits what you are describing right now. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know Brene Brown? Power of Vulnerability. Yeah, I most likely you do. So no, but it's on my to read list. Braving the Wilderness. Thank you for the tip, Hannah. I will definitely check it.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
we have like 2 minutes to go. I really want to thank you for making time to be here. Very first live for you as well. I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't know, do you have anything to say or to add before we end this live?
Um, Gosh, well, there's so much to say, and at the same time, I just would like to say thank you once again for this opportunity. I loved it.
Thank you. You're
Yeah,
so welcome.
definitely. And if we only inspired one woman at one certain second, then it's already beautiful. So yeah,
Mission accomplished.
let's keep on empowering ourselves. Let ourselves definitely too, because we have to include ourselves, and empowering each other. That's beautiful, and inspiring ourselves and each other, and complementing and supporting ourselves and each other. But always include yourself.
Exactly. That's nicely said. Very, very true. The last minute is going. So thank you everyone who joined us tonight. If you have any questions for me or Sophia afterwards, and you think like, hey, I want to ask this one, send us a direct message. I will leave all the practical info of Sophia, her page and website, so you can contact her. Next week, I'm not quite sure to which country we're heading. That's a bit of a secret, but stay tuned. I will let you know. Uh, thank you again, Sophia, for making time. I really loved this conversation and wishing you all a very good day, night, wherever you are on the planet. Lots of love as always, and I will see you very, very soon. Okay, bye bye.
Bye, everyone.